Just a man on a mission, ambition to never fail. Personality electric, he is animated male. Intelligent and wise, calm and often cool. Chris James giving opinions while also speaking the truth. Empathy and compassion. Stephen Michael is here, helping you through your traumas, helping you with your fears. These three forces combine and keep it honest. Turn up the volume, cause this is the application of knowledge.
Welcome to the Application of Knowledge podcast. I am Animated Mel, Chris James, Stephen Michael, and this is episode 106. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like this video, and check us out on our Patreon and all that beautiful stuff. Everyone who's tuned in to us on our Rumble, hey, welcome.
Special shout to Rumble. Y'all live right now, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Rumble is live, so if we talk about anything that needs to be edited out, you won't see it on any other platform but Rumble. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that.
You know what I mean? Because we're going to be talking about a lot of things that's going on in the world, and the world that be talking about us. You feel me? But yeah, y'all want to begin with the world getting blacked out?
What does that mean?
You know what I mean? Apparently, cell phones has gone down this week, or this past week. And it had the world in an uproar. But the funny thing is, it's like, I didn't experience it.
I didn't either.
I did.
Oh, you did?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, how
because you was in a different state.
I have AT&T.
I have AT&T.
Oh, that
wireless?
was
What you mean wireless?
Your cell phone?
Yeah.
that was
And
the
your
mistake.
phone didn't go out?
It maybe went out at a time where
He was
I just
asleep,
wasn't active on it. But when I was on, I was just like, the fuck everybody talk? Because I was on Twitter and I saw it trending, and I'm just like, what people talking about? The phone's going out.
It didn't say SOS? Like you had like actual wireless signal, not Wi-Fi signal?
I didn't have any issues. I didn't have any issue texting, going online, receiving messages, calling. I didn't have any of those issues.
That was your first mistake with AT&T right there. You need
What's
the
wrong
the
with
best.
AT&T?
You need the best. Listen, you got to get on the best.
I mean, but
network.
Verizon had an outage as well.
I don't remember that.
They've had multiple outages.
I think that you're lying.
No, it was T-Mobile, it was AT&T, and it was Verizon.
I didn't get no blackout.
It wasn't all Verizon customers, but there are Verizon customers that use AT&T towers.
No, see, I'm a real Verizon customer.
No.
I only use Verizon towers.
No. Depending on your location,
For your company.
depending on your location, Verizon will utilize. They all utilize
Right,
those
that's
towers.
the reason why this doesn't make any sense. Because if AT&T's towers go down, let's say they all go down, use Verizon or use TracFone or use whoever, why would you just lose signal? That doesn't make sense.
Depending on their contracts and how all that stuff works, but
Bro, this has never happened at this scale. The only time this happens is New Year's at 12 midnight.
yeah, you just won't be able to text or something, or but it's just overloading the servers.
Just overloading the
whatever.
system.
Yeah.
You telling me that they don't have enough towers to cover all of us 3 times over? That doesn't even make sense.
But also, there was apparently some kind of solar flare or something like that.
I think that was a cover up.
Okay.
You don't think?
You talking about the rip in the sky?
The rip in the sky.
Oh, y'all didn't see the rip in the sky. Never mind.
Nah.
Tell me about the solar flare.
They said there was there was a solar flare that happened at this particular time, and it just so happened it shut down everything throughout the world or something like that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Basically knocked out some of our communication, which I just was like, sounds real convenient.
I'm almost certain that solar flares aren't real.
They're like, hey, our connections is going down. Hey, what we gonna tell these niggas? Hey, what we gonna do? We gonna tell them the sun is flaring up.
Yeah.
And all the technology just is reacting to all the solar flare and the radiation that's happening from the sun. And cats is gonna believe it.
They're gonna believe whatever.
For sure. I mean, there's a lot of different theories out there. But one of the things, an interesting thing that happened, which I find to be weird, because this isn't the first time cell phones have gone down, right? It's happened. It has happened to Verizon before. I'm sure it's happened with AT&T before, right? But just the world that we live in, everything is communication. It's probably the most recent of this magnitude, right? But never in the past have I received information the way that I received it this time. So interestingly enough, so I tracked this on my Instagram. So
I'm getting to the bottom of this.
I am, and I'm probably gonna make a reel about it. But there was it was like Thursday morning, somewhere between 1 and 4 o'clock. I was awake, and my Wi-Fi gets spotty sometimes, so I'll turn it off and I'll just use my cell phone data. And I was watching YouTube and it just started buffering, and I'm like, "What's going on?" I'm like, turn the Wi-Fi on and it works. I was like, "Okay." I said my cell phone data, so I turned the cell phone off and it says SOS, and I'm like, "Oh, my stuff is down." Right? I just turned on Wi-Fi, didn't think anything about it, right? Ended up finishing my night, went to bed, woke up, still SOS. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, well, maybe it's just me. So then I get online and I see, nope, this is a national thing. Like everyone's having an issue, right? So probably around 11, 12 o'clock our time, they restore it and then it goes out again.
They playing games.
And then it came back on probably between 12 and 1 Central, just from my memory. And then I immediately got an email saying that my bill was ready. Like, oh, here's your bill. It's ready. I was like, oh, well, that's so convenient, right? So I just found that to be funny. I ended up having to go to the store because I was going out of town. I need to get an outfit. So I went to the store. I was in the mall. So I go past AT&T, and I'm like, oh, there's AT&T here. Let me go in there and talk to them and see what happened. Well, there was no employees there. They had closed.
Wow.
So there were no employees in the store.
What day was it?
Thursday?
So it's a time that they should be open.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
it was
for
middle of the day,
Yeah.
right? It was like 3 o'clock. So I ended up going to the store. Now, I did come back, and then there was somebody in there. So, but like, it wasn't lunchtime. This was like almost 5 o'clock. So I'm like, why was no one here? This is really weird. So I then went in.
Those aren't real AT&T though. That's like the authorized retailer.
I mean, people, they're not corporate. So there's usually I think there's one in our area. If that. So I went in and I talked to the guy and I was just like, hey man, I said, what happened? He's like, oh, man, we don't know. The network went down, And I said, okay, man. I said, so how are they gonna? I said, they need to issue a credit. We need a credit for that time. Obviously, it was only a couple hours, but it wasn't. I know, right? But it wasn't just wireless, right? Because you have certain businesses and other people that went down as well because they utilize some of their features. Or if you have AT&T and your business is using the wireless service as a hotspot, all that went down. So there was a lot of businesses that were affected also. So he was like, yeah, they haven't said anything yet, but they were talking about doing something, I said, okay, man. I said, hey, kick it up upstairs. I said, my people, we want a credit, man. He said, "Oh yeah, I'll let him know." He's not letting him know, right? Yeah. So then today I get so then Friday or Saturday they sent a text, and they just were like, "Hey, we understand a lot of people went out. We're really sorry. We apologize." So it was just a mass text, I guess. Did you get that text?
I'd have to check.
Mel's like, nah, I didn't get no text.
I don't think I did. I'd have to check.
My stuff didn't even go down, so I was good.
It should have been from a weird numbers like 110-11110. Like,
nah, I mean, I get those messages like when my bill's paid.
Yeah.
Like, hey, your bill's successfully paid.
Okay, you didn't get. Okay, well, I did. You got that offer at AT&T.
How'd you respond?
I didn't respond. It's a no reply text.
Are you sure?
Do you have a monthly bill, like as far as like for your phone?
Yeah.
Like, do you pay for your phone? Not for like.
Oh
the
yes,
service,
I
but
pay
your
for.
actual phone.
Yes, I have a. Yeah, like a. Yeah.
Okay. So my phone's already paid off.
Okay.
Like, I don't do the plans to get my phone. I make sure as soon as I get it, whatever it is, that's
paid off. $1,000. Boom. You don't care.
Hey.
Yeah. G.
Hey. G. Top G.
Top G.
I thought that's the way you're supposed to do it. 'Cause I'm just.
I mean, that's the whole benefit of the plan.
Hey, look, it's an interest-free loan. I take that loan.
Yeah. So I thought that was weird, right? And then today I am when I land. I get signal back, and then I have an email from AT&T, and the title is "Make It Right," and I was just like, "Oh, okay, AT&T." Like my
Make it right.
my gripes were heard. So they just were like, "Listen, we really do apologize. We understand the connection is a really big thing, and we want to make sure people stay connected. So, we're going to be issuing a credit to to people's bills." Yada yada yada.
$1, $2.
I go into the in the email. It's like, see more, right? So I go into the email and I read more about it, and it was just like, okay, we do apologize once again, and for anybody that was affected, we're going to be issuing a $5 credit to your bill.
That's more than what I thought.
Damn, $5.
$5 credit to your bill that you'll see within the next 2 billing cycles.
What's your monthly bill?
My monthly bill? 85, 83, 86 in that area.
You're coming 80, okay.
Oh no, I mean I'll take $5. Honestly, for most normal people,
they doubled you up.
Mine is like $55.
Well, you don't pay for a cell phone.
You pay for other people's.
No.
Y'all's bills are cheap. That's the reason.
You don't pay for your phone.
That's the reason why y'all.
My phone is probably.
That's the reason
25, 30
down. Y'all got them cheap plans.
What are you talking? How is it cheap?
My bill is $216.
You have multiple phones.
Okay, but also I got that high grade internet service that don't go down.
You mean Verizon has gone down before?
I never went down, baby.
You didn't go down this time. Verizon definitely has gone down. But anyway, the thing that's frustrating about it is that those businesses, it excludes businesses.
Oh, that's
so it doesn't give the credit to businesses.
Correct.
Okay.
So businesses got hit.
Businesses are the ones that are going to lose the most, right? Because if you have a one of those touch systems, Square or Toast point of sale services where you use AT&T service, right? If you work at a farmer's market and you're selling a product, right? These are all business lines. Who, if they're at a farmer's market, they can't take payments, or they had to connect to someone's hotspot or something in order to get service. So they're losing the most. Yeah. And AT&T said, "Yeah, we're not giving you a credit, though."
That's weird.
I found that very weird also.
Yeah.
So why would you not credit businesses, but you credit the residentials?
Yeah, that's really weird. Should be less businesses than residential.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be less of them. Just give them a credit also.
And it's $5.
It's not
a slap in the face anyway.
If you imagine the company in totality, the amount of residents or the amount of subscribers they have, that's a lot of money.
Oh yeah, it is a lot of money.
I mean, you're talking millions of dollars.
But they also weren't doing their job during that time. It's like getting paid when you at home sleeping.
Yeah.
Here's what I think. I think that they took that time to do something to the system.
Nefarious?
Yeah, everybody has this theory that a satellite fell, and that's where the ripple in the sky came from. It was a satellite, or it's a solar flare.
Russian Chinese cyber hack to the satellites.
No, I think that they did something to the system, and there was a period of time because, like, when I used to be an electrician, we would have to shut down. Like, if we were working on a school and we were working on the main transformers in the school, you have to shut down all the power that those transformers feed, right? And in this case, you're talking about a full shutdown. And, it might last a couple hours, whatever. If somebody messes up, it might take a little longer. But you have to shut the entire system down to do that type of work. So if the entire system got shut down, meaning outside of Wi-Fi, right? Because Wi-Fi would work. They were doing an upgrade.
Yeah.
And of course, they're not going to tell you.
No. And along that same vein, I had a point. I lost my point.
In the same vein as, okay, you say you think they were doing an upgrade.
Yeah.
What about? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry.
I was talking until you get back.
So when you're going to do that, right? Because you're talking about being an electrician, right? You would not want to do that type of work during a school day. Right. Correct. Let's say something will happen. Can we get to the end of the day to do this work? Yes. Let's wait till all the students leave.
Wait till summer to do it.
Okay, or summer, right? Mm-hmm. This happened at it was between 1 and 4 in the morning. So,
really?
Yeah. So
Central
this is
time.
Central Time. So let's just say it was 2:00. That's 3:00 Eastern, 2:00 Central, and then you're talking about.
But it lasted longer than that.
Correct, but what did you just say?
Midnight Pacific.
Yeah, midnight Pacific.
Okay.
So if that were the case, and typically you said, well, yeah, it's only supposed to last a few hours, if that. Well, unless someone messes something up, it's the same thing, right? Okay, let's just knock it out late night. It's on a Thursday. It's not a Friday. It's not a Saturday. People aren't up. People should be asleep, but there's going to be people that are. But it's midnight on the West Coast. It's 3 a.m. on the East Coast.
Oh, yeah. That's the perfect time.
That's the perfect time.
Yeah.
So it's just like, there's no such thing as coincidence.
No. That is a good piece of information. The fact that it happened at that time. Now, in my head, not knowing the numbers, I would think Sunday would make more sense, but Sunday goes into Monday. So that's probably not a good time. But the fact that it happened at midnight Pacific, that is very telling.
Yeah, on a Thursday.
Why? Is it because
everything east will be?
Is like the headquarters out there?
No. Everything east is asleep. So it is
the minimal, the least amount of impact.
You're gonna have the least amount of traffic.
Imagine if you're a truck driver. I didn't even think about any of this. Imagine if you're a truck driver using your GPS. And you have AT&T service.
Shit, I'd be lost.
You know,
right.
I'd be like, y'all better
I didn't even think about that.
You would be lost. But as a truck driver, they have backup. They have redundancy.
Well, let's just say just a regular person traveling. Oh, they're going away for the weekend.
You're in the mountains of Virginia.
Oh, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Like, I can only imagine the people, like, for us or for me, right? It wasn't a big deal. I was home. I was on Wi-Fi. But I mean, I do know truck drivers, right? I do know people that travel, or Thursday night going into Friday. That's a big travel time, right? You take off Friday, Saturday, you come back Sunday, you leave late Friday. Chris, you know, when we used to travel across country, we would leave super late, or 4 or 5 in the morning, something like that. And you just imagine, especially with today, people aren't using MapQuest and things like that.
MapQuest.
Bro,
here's the thing.
I used to use MapQuest.
Oh, bro, we all did.
Used to print those sheets out.
We'll figure it out. People are gonna figure it out one way.
What if you're already on the road and you have no cell signal?
You have to stop at a McDonald's that has a free hotspot, and you have to get yourself a pen and paper.
Here's the thing, Chris. You have the wherewithal to do that. Think about these Gen Z people.
Gen Z people.
I mean, what do you want to call them?
What are you trying to call them?
Are they not people?
These people.
Don't try to make it something that's not.
Those people.
No, I'm just saying, like, people that they really they're like millennials.
About people that don't know how to tell an analog clock what time it is on the analog.
Yes, I mean, millennials. We're the last ones that had both ends of the spectrum. We had the computers and we had MapQuest and we had GPS. We were here for that. They only have GPS. So navigating the road and actually reading signs and just driving on the highway, right? And then seeing the blue sign that shows food, and then it shows gas stations, right? Like, they're not used to using that. All you have to do is put in your GPS, search along a route. What do you want to search? I want food. And it just takes you there. If you're not used to doing that, or if you've always had GPS, it's not going to be that, it's just like, whoa, what's happening? And then as soon as now sometimes GPS will download the information, but then it doesn't always, depending on your settings and stuff. So there's definitely people out there, I guarantee, they got stranded.
So SOS still worked?
Yeah, but that's just emergency calls.
Which means that they was blowing them emergency centers up, weren't they?
That's correct. So there was a statement that was issued in Sacramento, California, because people were calling the emergency centers asking, hey, what's wrong? What's going on? And they basically were like, hey, please stop calling 911. Your calls work. You don't need to keep calling us. It's a nationwide outage. It was so bad. And of course, it's Sacramento, right? Of course, it's California.
Makes
super
sense.
Right, super left leaning, Oh my God, right? It's just imagine. So imagine those people driving, and then their cell phone signal goes out. They're lost. So, I mean, there's definitely people that, for me, I'm like, I'll take the 5.
I wonder, is there a toll of casualties that happened during this outage? Look, I think that,
oh, you mean real casualties?
I think that this was an upgrade, but also it's a test. It's like, we could take your technology away at any moment, and you could see the chaos.
Yeah.
And that was just one network.
Imagine if they all went down.
The majority of people were fine. What happens when you take away all of them?
I want to say the majority.
Steven, you think that AT&T has the majority?
I mean, they have a big slice. AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile.
Not the majority of the services. I'm talking about the majority of people.
Just in totality?
Yeah, I'm just talking about the majority of people.
Okay.
But once you take down AT&T or if you just hit TracFone and all of their towers, it's a wrap.
Well, doesn't TracFone use the towers?
No, TracFone usually owns the towers.
I'm sorry. What? They do?
TracFone's known, well, back in the day, was known to have the best service. They had all the towers. Everybody else was using their towers.
And they just didn't have the...
They didn't have the phones. Their phones were trash.
Got you. Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
Yeah.
You can't have both.
It's probably a service that made the towers and then...
If they hit internet, bruh.
Well, this is my point, right? But can internet go down?
There's fiber optic networks. I mean, they're, because they say it's satellites, but we know it's all underground.
Okay,
right? There's fiber optic network cables.
Are we just saying if the cables get cut?
Let's say somebody cut a cable. Like they have cables running, the cross-Atlantic cables running underwater between America and Europe, right? There's been times where
Steve, those are satellites. They're not. No.
Yeah, I know, right? But there's times it was in the last couple years that there was a big thing because there was this Russian ship that was really close to these cables underwater, and they were like, "Are they gonna blow this up?" And they were unsure, and it was causing a lot of stink because they weren't sure if they were gonna like attack this cable.
And that doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't, but that just goes to show like how important they are.
Yeah, that's just bull from the media.
But people
Russia's not cutting the cable.
I know.
You cut yourself off too.
It's but the fact of the matter is it's not that it's the fact that people didn't realize like how important these underwater and underland cables are. This is how we move internet.
We'll just switch to the satellites, man.
If that's just so crazy because if that were the case, right, then why do we lose signal in the mountains? We're closer to the satellites, right? Like and I'm sure someone has the
piece of the mountains blocks the signal.
Yeah, the piece of the mountain blocks the signal. But then you have satellite phones that give you service everywhere. Listen.
Those are for military satellites.
Oh, my bad. That's right. Military only. They got them Tony Stark satellites. I think that there's something that is in the. I don't know if they have the satellites as we know them. I don't believe in as we're taught. That's just circling 50,000 just satellites circling. I don't believe that.
Right.
I do believe that they have the knowledge and the ability to bounce signals.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So there are radio waves. So there are waves and frequencies that they bounce across the world, but they're not the way that we think that they are. And I think that the main energy source is underground.
Well, the only satellites we've ever actually seen are the ones attached to balloons.
Yeah, aren't the ones those big towers on the ground that shoot up to the skies? Aren't those considered satellites, or are those radio towers?
The dish.
Yeah,
those dishes aren't considered satellites. The ones on the
I feel like those are satellites. Those are what are shooting
dishes.
That I feel like that, but are they supposed to be receptors? Or they just do?
They're bouncing signal.
See, I feel like they are the actual signal.
Well, then what's it shooting to?
It's bouncing off the firmament.
Oh, I think they have actual weather balloons up there, or not weather balloons, but the satellites are attached to big balloons. I mean, that's what we've actually seen. Mm-hmm. There's no speculation there.
Yeah,
you've actually seen them launch them.
Yeah, there's something, but they're not satellites as we know them.
You've never seen them launch the traditional satellite that's in outer space,
and you can't find a picture of one, an actual one, without it being CGI.
Right. Like no one's building them.
Right.
You think we live in a world where we could survive without these, cell phones? Or do you think society would be able to, throw what's that one? Like a different approach to. I'm trying to think of the football thing where you have a play, but you
Hail
switch
Mary?
it.
Audible.
Yeah. That's I'm like, what the fuck is the play? Yeah, Audible. You think a society be able to have an Audible in case like a tower does go down?
Are we talking strictly cell phones, or are we talking
Cell phones specifically.
so we just lose access to our phones, but we still have computer, we still have internet. Just yeah, I mean they're gonna bring it back. It's not something that unless they EMP, which is gonna take out everything. There's no way you just take cell phones out. Now if they do the tower situation, you lose wireless signal. If you have like cable network, cable internet, you'll be okay. But the Wi-Fi and stuff, I think that people would still be they'll still be okay. If they lost their cell phones.
So we're talking the entire world loses their cell phones.
Yeah.
I think that people are going to die.
You think they'll die?
I think people will die.
Well,
not like a lot, but I think a significant amount of people
Die as how? Like suicide type vibe?
No. I think that there are people that are dependent for their life on their cell phone, and I think that there's going to be a significant amount of casualties.
I don't think that it would be something that would happen like in the moment, like a bomb went off. But you have people that are maybe they're stuck in their rooms and they're stuck in bed, right? Maybe they're you watch My 600-Pound Life, things like that, and they literally communicate with the world through their phone. So they start getting even more depressed, and you lose connection to people.
There are people that are stuck in their room. So let's say the only way you get food or whatever is through DoorDash, and you just your door is open, and you instruct them, hey, just come in.
It's literally like prison, though, right?
Of course,
they've created
their own prison. Mm-hmm. Now you've alienated yourself from the rest of your family, or maybe they've all passed away. You don't have any friends. You don't go outside. No one knows you exist except the DoorDash guys. As a matter of fact, this has happened without cell phones being down. I've heard stories of people. There was this guy that would always order like a pizza or something from Domino's or something every Friday or whatever, every day, twice a day.
Okay. I think I heard this.
And then he stopped ordering. And the Domino's
him.
people are the ones that saved him.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Because
I've heard of that. I don't know where I heard that.
It was the old white guy.
I don't remember the details.
I think I know you. I think I've seen that story like 2 years ago or something.
So I mean, I think people will die. I think a large amount of people will die. Yeah.
I could see that. Significant.
Yeah, I mean, not like millions, but
yeah, a significant amount for them to be like, hey, there's an uptick in mortality during this time.
Mm-hmm.
What about the idea that this was a test? I know Chris mentioned a test, a little earlier, but a test of seeing how society would react in a situation when everything is just shut down and you don't have access to your cell phones. How realistic would you be convinced that this is a test that they're putting in place to see how society will react?
Everything that happens on a day-to-day basis is a lesson to be learned. Our whole life is a test. Everything that happens, everything that we do, how we interact, how we respond, it's all a test. So we know that in 2020, right, when the world shut down, it was a test, right? So we've seen how how people responded. We see how some people were, they just got in line. We see how some people did not, they rebelled. And then they've already talked about another one. And of course, right, they're testing communications. All of this is, if you look at I think it's called the 2030 World Economic Summit, a lot of this stuff is already in there. They've already planned this stuff out. Like they've already talked about, these are some of the things that we're going to be looking at. And we can see this, even in a small, it's a test, in a small thing, right? Where
sample size.
Right, sample size. It went live, 12 hours or whatever it was. It probably was exactly 12 hours. Like now that I think about it, I said,
what day did this happen on?
It was whatever Thursday is. Oh, you're going to numerology it. Thursday. So basically from 12 to 12, it was about a 12 hours almost exactly. I bet if I looked it up, it's right around that amount of time. So I definitely think that it was bigger than what they've told us. And they're looking, if you see how people responded in 2020, and then you look at the amount of chaos that ensued for 12 hours when the phones went down. Everything on your social media was about AT&T, right? So imagine taking their phones down, and then there's this outbreak that happens, and people are just like, wait, what? Any information that you feed them through the media is going to be taken even in higher regard. It's going to be like,
that's the easiest way to manipulate someone.
right. So you take away the phones, it's all, people are already primed for cyber attacks. Now you have a disease that comes out or whatever. Now they're like, oh, it's this. We know what it is. Here's, because of 2020, we know exactly what to do. We've already have this thing ready for you. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, people are going to be lining up.
When we're already, even just aside from a technology shutting down, even in, you hear them have like gas shortages. You see how people react,
right?
I have to stock up and get this gas, or if we have like a freeze, or when the pandemic did start, you've seen how much, they go to grocery stores and no toilet paper is fucking available, and people go into survival mode. So those instincts of doing for self automatically kick in.
Yeah.
And
self-preservation.
Yeah. And just shopping and things of that nature, especially at grocery stores, you see the hike in prices. And one thing that I realize is not only is there a hike in the way that things are being, sold, but there's also a less amount of what they're selling you. So, for instance, they start cutting back on how much toilet paper they give you or how much fruit they give you in a particular container, but they increase the price of it. And I've noticed this just shopping around at going to get different grocery stores. Like I'll go to Whole Foods, I'll go to Kroger, or maybe even Tom Thumb.
You go to different stores?
Yeah. It depends on.
You got to be able to get everything you need.
I felt like you had a contract with Whole Foods.
Nah, because the thing is, it's convenient because I would go to the gym and then Whole Foods is just right
okay,
there,
that's right. Yeah.
But
Tom Thumb right there too.
Yeah, but a lot of times they don't have a lot of options that
funny thing is, I'd rather go to Whole Foods than Tom Thumb because honestly, because you would think Whole Foods, they're just the most expensive grocery store, but Tom Thumb is right there.
Yeah.
And Whole Foods usually has things that Tom Thumb doesn't.
Right.
But my favorite grocery store, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, is Central Market.
Yeah, I wish we did have a closer Central Market.
Man, I'd be up there.
That Central Market ain't far, but it feels so far.
It's really not that far.
It feels so far. I will not go.
That you're wild. They have everything.
Yeah, but the thing that I've noticed is that when I would get strawberries or any blueberries, is that they would short it, and the price would go up. They'll be like $7.99, but then I'll be looking. I'm like, these strawberries, they'll be thick, or they'll be big, where they don't necessarily give you a decent amount of strawberries, and so.
But it's by weight, though.
I'll see. Okay, but it's still. I'm just like, man, I'm going through strawberries so much quicker than I have prior, and it's a consistent thing that I've seen. So I was like, you know what? Let me go to Kroger and see what they got. And their strawberries, they'll be smaller, but they'll be like medium size or whatever. And so I'm able to get more if I'm making a smoothie or so. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to Kroger instead. And even like the blueberries that they're selling, they give you more at Kroger than what they give you at Whole Foods, and the prices are much more expensive at Whole Foods than they are at Kroger.
Still organic?
Still, all they get is
all
organic.
you mess with.
Well, no, I mean, I want to just make sure that you say that.
Yeah, all organic. Yeah, I guess I should say this. Thank you. But the prices they're up. I'm just like, and so it got me to that point. You was like, you know what? Get over on these companies. Like, if you're shopping at these grocery stores, like, because I don't like to be on a swindle or anything like that.
Oh, you're reformed.
But it's not right. It's not right for you to increase the price on the things that you're selling, but then you take away the amount of quantity or the proper amount that that's reasonable to the price. And so I'm just like, you know what? Fuck that guilty conscience. Now, I don't promote stealing or theft or anything like that, but if you're in a position where if you're weighing something, hey man, fuck that.
Sometimes I forget the organic has that 9 in the front.
Look, at the end of the day,
You know, like,
why am I as a customer checking myself out anyway?
bro, and Whole Foods has almost strictly gone there. Like fast
so
too.
it's Kroger.
They really
Like-
have.
like-
I don't like that.
I don't either.
I do not like
When
that.
I go to Whole Foods, it's more expensive. It not necessarily is always better. A lot of times, sometimes they don't even have stuff that I want. I'm paying more. I want to go through the line. I want to have a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I want y'all to bag it, put in your brown bags. Like, no. Y'all literally have gone almost completely
At the most, they'll have one lane. open.
One lane.
I'm just
And not
thinking,
even
what
if
is
you
this?
go at nighttime, that lane may not even be open.
That's why I shop at Albertsons. Number one, they don't use the appeal coding. Yep, that's right. They don't use the appeal coding on their fruit.
It's a poor people grocery store.
I've only been in there once. It just came off dirty
It's
to
Kroger.
me.
It's like a
low-end Kroger's.
low-end Kroger, but it's not though. They're
just how it
organic. They have a
presents
good
itself.
organic food section.
They do?
Yep. And even when I go in there late, because that's the only time I've shopped, there's 2 cashiers. 2 late. Like before they close, there's 2.
It's over there by Target, right?
No, it's right by Kroger. I mean, there's multiple locations.
Oh, it's across the street. Okay. There's one over by.
Yeah,
it's
instead
over-
of going to Kroger's, and Albertsons is technically closer.
maybe okay. So the one next to Target is probably Target be making them lose money. I think because that one looked dirty.
I've never been to Albertsons. I've never even acknowledged its existence.
That's why when you said you went anywhere other than Whole Foods, I got confused.
That's the reason why I also was able to get coconuts, young Thai
Regular
coconuts,
coconuts?
young
At
Thai
Albertsons?
coconuts. Yep. Whole Foods didn't have them, or if Whole Foods had them, they were like $6.
Yeah,
And Albertsons had them for like $4.
that's
99
not
cents,
bad.
I think.
I wish coconuts was like $2, man.
They are. You just go to the Asian food market.
They're not $2.
They are $2.
Are they?
Yeah, we buy.
You know
we buy
what?
12 at a time.
Okay.
All right. Did y'all hear about Larsa Pippen?
I heard they got divorced.
I said
Larsa
I love it.
Pippen
No,
and-
divorce.
Not divorced.
No,
they never got
they
married.
broke up.
Oh, okay.
Larsa and Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus Jordan.
Yeah,
I was just like, oh, I hate to hear about love. I mean,
bro,
No, there was no love
That
there.
should have never happened anyway.
yeah, I didn't. Honestly, I was thinking that they wouldn't make it to like the marriage part, and I'm actually like relieved in a sense.
Okay.
To see it not go to the marriage part because like, what are you doing, bro?
They were just both of them were wrong.
Marcus and Larsa.
Yes, like I understand, right? Because I think when we talked about this a while ago, I think Mel, you said that he like really liked her as a child. Like they were around all the time, you know, and
She would babysit him.
okay, yeah. So there is that piece where, you know, you got that one girl that you've always wanted and now you finally get a chance to get her, but he probably eventually saw all the problems, you know?
In her.
Yeah.
I mean, she's older, preying on a younger dude. I mean, I wouldn't. I don't know. Maybe you get blinded by that love.
I think it's just because she was there with him as a child. You automatically see them differently. Doesn't matter. They say love is blind.
It is. I
So
can see that.
there's things that you're just not gonna see if you've had this, like, okay, let's just say you have these people that are as us growing up. Pamela Anderson. I'm thinking of her because I just saw a picture of her recently with like no makeup. Right.
Ooh, that probably was hideous.
I think she looked horrible.
Yeah.
Right. And they were like, the caption was like, oh, a natural 50-something-year-old woman. This is what a natural 50-year-old looks like. I said, Pamela Anderson is not natural at all.
Yeah.
Right. Like, and they're like, oh, she just got some sun damage. Da, da, da. Like, what's wrong with y'all? She has Botox damage. She's got plastic surgery damage.
Yeah.
Like, she's like, you know, like, and I'm not
Got cock carousel damage.
like, bro, like, and no shade to her as a person.
Cock carousel
It's
damage.
a cock carousel.
That's I literally heard that and I just I just ran right by that. But some people, right? I said y'all loved her There's a lot of women defending her, of course, right?
Of course.
Guys are just like, we see it as we call it as we see it, you know? But there are also the guys that were like, oh my gosh, she's still beautiful. I said, no, she's not. I mean, obviously I didn't post anything because what's the point?
You just did. You just did just now.
No, I'm talking about like on the actual reel that I saw. Shut up. But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you liked somebody or loved somebody, this is your childhood dream girl, you know, like you still see them as they were 20 years ago, 30 years ago. But it's like, no, now they're older and you still see them, you know, in that same way. It's just like, I see it as like trauma. So when you experience trauma emotionally, if it's heavy enough, you're stuck there. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times with like alcoholics or people that use drugs, they'll find that whenever they started using it, that's when they stop emotionally growing. Their emotional maturity stops at that point, and then slowly it just creeps up. But you could be 35 and then have the emotional maturity of a 15-year-old because that's when you started using cocaine or that's when you started drinking, right? So it's almost the same. It's almost the same way, you know. That's the way I kind of put it together. And obviously, it's not so intense, but depending on how life was, so you still see that person the same way. And I feel like that's what happened. And there was probably, I don't know. But she doesn't seem like she has the greatest character, but there was probably some flirting that happened, you know, on her part maybe, or his part when he was a teenager or even really young.
Flirting with like, okay.
Yeah, them flirting together. Okay. You know what I mean? Like even when she was still married and they were still coming around, everything was cool. Because as soon as things ended, this happened too fast.
Well, because it's never enough for certain types of women. It can never be enough to have one of the most famous, one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Like, that can't be enough. It can't be enough that he D's you down every night 4 times a night. It can't be enough that he provides you with a lifestyle that most women can only dream of. That it can't be enough that he provides you with children and provides for those children. It can't be enough that you have everything that you could ever possibly want. You got to have more. There's always more. So the reality is, there's no pleasing certain women, and I think that what she did shows her. I don't know this woman at all. I don't know anything about her. I haven't looked into her at all. But what she did shows her character. Mm-hmm. So
was she the one who split, or was it him?
It's always the woman.
You know she split. I don't even know, and I know
it's always the woman. Like 80-90% of the time. So do we know? Clearly we don't know, but we know. We could take an educated guess.
If I had to put my money on it right now, I'm going to say she left him.
Why would Scottie Pippen leave his wife and expose himself like that?
Yeah.
Like the level of exposure that he gets from leaving his wife, it doesn't make sense. He's too valuable. Mm-hmm. You know?
He loses so much.
He loses too much.
It's better for him to just basically stay married, have a little something on the side, and just deal with it.
Now, I'm not saying Scottie didn't. But this is also another thing. I mean, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. The way she make it sound like he was just smashing her.
But, yeah, was it 3 times a day? You said 4. Was it 3 times a day, every single day?
That's for their entire life.
For their entire relationship. During the playoffs, during her cycle, every day.
Every day.
3. That's wild.
That's wild. You know what I'm saying?
That's also cap.
I think it's cap.
That's definitely cap.
I think it's cap. But also, I would say that if that was true, let's just say it was half of true. Okay, then you need to encourage him to go get another girl.
Yeah.
Because there's no way that one woman can satisfy him. And the problem is in our society, that's wrong.
That's cheating.
But it's better than getting divorced and ruining your family.
If I was on that level, I mean, it's really hard for me to truly put myself in those shoes, right? But if I was her, and that's how I felt, and I had everything that I wanted in life, but maybe I wasn't happy, right? There's maybe something a little bit more that I want for my relationship. I would have a conversation and be like, listen, you're Scottie Pippen. You're influential. You know, if you're not happy anyway, then have a true, honest conversation about what your needs are. And he can have an honest conversation about what his needs are. And if that means that we are allowed to do certain things to get those needs met, then that's okay, right? Because for a lot of women, it's not necessarily sex. She's getting that anyway, more than what she wants. So it's not sex, it's emotional connection. I could imagine, I know nothing about Scotty. I know he had a book. I don't know, I've never read his book. I think Mel can probably talk about this a little bit. But I have no idea his type of person. But I would assume that he is not the most attached, right? He's probably a little detached, traveling. He's not there. He's not really giving her the emotional stuff that she needs or wants. She's probably home by herself a lot. There's probably something emotional that she's been missing. It's probably been missing for years. And he
also has a major chip on his shoulder. A major chip on his shoulder.
Bro,
he's not even mentioned in the greats. He's not
Scotty?
even. Yeah.
I mean, he's not.
What?
He's not a great. He's not a great. He's not like.
Wow. See?
Not to
See
say
what
he's
I'm
not
saying,
a great basketball player.
That's
but
what you just said.
Would you? That's like saying that, like, okay, well, that's like saying that, like, Draymond Green is not a great basketball player.
He's not on that level of greats.
No.
In order to make it to the NBA, you
Scottie
have to
Pippen?
be.
Mel.
Yeah.
He's not one of the.
They talk about Dennis Rodman more than they talk about Scotty.
Scotty never gets mentioned.
He never gets mentioned. What you're saying, bro?
No, he gets mentioned.
Mel.
Scotty does get mentioned. He doesn't get mentioned on the level of a Steph Curry, LeBron type thing. But
Well,
he
no,
gets
these
mentioned.
are Steph Curry and LeBron they're top tier. They're the face of the
they're-
NBA.
yeah.
Right, but
he's not.
But Scotty,
Jordan.
Scotty is second tier. Though.
Yeah.
He would be like I don't know, Draymond. Which is like, if without Draymond, that team is not the same.
Right. But
Right?
they do mention Scotty.
He would be like, yeah,
just like they mentioned Dennis.
but that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why he has a chip on his shoulder, because he feels like he should get more recognition.
yeah.
You agree with the amount of recognition he gets?
Yeah. I mean, they didn't win anything when Scotty.
Is that why you say that? Because
You mean when Scotty was there by himself?
Because basketball is a team game.
And he wasn't there by himself. He just didn't have Jordan.
No. That's what I'm
Okay.
saying. Like,
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
but-
that's a
but
big shadow,
piece,
man. Like, that's a.
It
Jordan.
is, but also, I mean, Scotty, he got them to that point, but they just didn't make it to the finals or anything.
Okay,
that
but he
says something.
He was still,
But still.
Okay, Mel, you literally have a team, and you got your three players. You got your triangle offense, and it's rock solid. And you take one piece away, and then Robin, number 2, steps up and still gets y'all to the playoffs. That means something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, if you don't win.
Mel, no, it's not that simple.
Yeah, but if you don't win.
Because it was very competitive at that time. So it's not to say it was like a walk in the park. I think obviously it was a lot of hype. It's almost like coming into the NBA as LeBron and niggas saying you're gonna be the next Jordan. Like, I feel like it's that type of pressure.
Charles Barkley, he doesn't have any rings, right? But Charles Barkley is one of the greatest players ever. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? So you can't say, he wasn't winning anything. Like, well, I mean, he still just wasn't winning chips, right? So
I mean, Scotty's got rings.
yeah, he has rings, multiple.
Yeah.
Because of Jordan.
Yeah, we all know who won.
Okay,
Yeah, but
because of
but he didn't
Jordan.
win them by himself. That's the whole reason that Jordan told Phil Jackson, we need Rodman. Mm-hmm. Because Jordan knew, no, we need more pieces. You can't win.
Of course, you need a team.
You right, and that's like, what's his name? You got Shumpert out here. Well, he played with LeBron. You have Shumpert's not who I'm talking about. Who's the other dude? Maybe it was Shumpert. He's on a lot of podcasts now.
White guy?
No, black guy. Is it Shumpert?
Iman, the dude that dated Tiana Taylor?
I don't know about all that, but he played with LeBron. He gets on a podcast and tells all these LeBron stories about how he works and stuff. I think it's Shumpert. Tatted up like crazy.
You don't know who he is.
There's a lot. I mean, I know who Iman Shumpert is.
Yeah, is that what he's tatted up?
I mean, but there's a lot of people that's tatted up. I mean, there's also
Okay.
What's his name? J.R.
Smith. Yeah, okay, it's not. It's Shumpert. It's because I'm cutting them out because I'm thinking Butler, and then I was thinking of J.R. Smith, but it's Shump. But like, he's not like, you wouldn't. He has a ring, right, with LeBron, but you would not say that. I would not say that Shumpert was one of the greatest players on that team. That's me personally.
Well, he's a role player. Everyone
Right.
has their role.
Right? No. Hold on a second. Everyone has a role, but there's a difference between a role player and someone having their role.
Oh, I understand.
Okay, so I would not consider Pippen a role player. I would say that Pippen was part of that team winning. Without him, I mean, maybe someone could have stepped up, but if you take him out of that team, I don't think that they would have had the same.
I agree. Even Michael Jordan says it.
Okay, well, that's what I'm saying. So I think what
He's
Chris
a critical piece.
He's a critical piece.
He's a critical
and Pippen feels like he doesn't get the credit he deserves, and I understand because Michael Jordan was such a big figure. It's the same thing with you're gonna have like Klay Thompson, who he's gonna go through his career. And at the end of his career, we may find out that he has a chip on his shoulder. Because if he was on another team, he could have been the number one guy, potentially. Now,
it's a different dynamic because you have Stockton and Malone, which was not Scottie and Jordan.
They never won anything, but okay.
But this is my...
it's not all about rings.
Golly, man.
But you would say that they're some of the greatest players of all time.
They are definitely they are a dynamic duo, right? They're
one of the best two ever.
Everybody knows it. Stockton and Malone, like their names don't even sound right without each other.
That's true.
They don't do that for Jordan and Pippen. I think that's part of
What
the.
do you mean?
They're close. If you look at duos and you put Jordan,
Bro,
it would be Jordan Pippen. You wouldn't say Jordan and Rodman.
It definitely is, right?
But
Kobe,
they don't. But they don't mention them together.
But they don't mention them together. Is what I'm saying.
You get a lot of Kobe and Shaq.
You get
Stockton
Kobe
and Malone.
and Shaq. Yes.
With Steph, I mean, it's either you get Splash Brothers, but I don't know. I feel like
Y'all wildin'.
Bro,
You said they don't mention Scottie and Jordan together. They mention them together all the time. All the time.
No. I'm saying I think Chris is saying that they're just not so Stockton Malone is the same name.
If it wasn't for this Last Dance and all this latest drama stuff, of people feeling disgruntled afterwards, we've consistently heard Jordan and Pippen. It's always been a thing.
I think it became an issue because he came out with that book and he expressed how he felt.
So I'm just,
in response to the Last Dance.
Sorry, that was Jordan's documentary.
Really?
Yeah, on Netflix.
I didn't see that.
It's on Netflix. You got Netflix.
Oh, okay.
now.
I didn't know that.
He said, "Oh, I got
It's
Netflix
actually it's
now."
really good. It's really good.
It came out during the pandemic. I refused.
So wait. So Pippen wrote his book,
It's good, man.
expressing himself basically not in retaliation, but just in response to.
The Last Dance,
And then
because he felt he was depicted a certain way. But nigga, he was in it. He was in the documentary.
How was he depicted in your opinion?
I didn't think. Well, okay, they showed him at times, which was true though, and he even he even agreed to a lot of the stuff of how he was. He was depicted as someone who was kind of selfish.
Okay.
In a sense, because there was time, it was a contract year, and instead of getting in the game and playing, he decided to sit out instead of actually playing because he wanted. He felt like he wasn't getting paid the right amount.
He wasn't getting paid what Jordan was getting paid.
Well, he's not Jordan.
No.
But I think,
Jordan wasn't even getting paid a lot like that.
well, this is also contracts and stuff. This is different. This is a whole different era. But
Scottie wasn't getting that advertising. He wasn't getting that Jordan brand.
the reason that Jordan has the
Jordan.
money, the reason that Jordan has the money is not because if it's contract. It's because of advertisers. Same with LeBron, right?
Yeah.
They're
LeBron has good contracts too.
Well, yeah, but Jordan
yeah.
set the stage for all that stuff for all these people. But at the end of the day, whether it's true or not, it's a documentary, and you watch documentaries. We watch them, and you.
Nah, I don't.
You don't watch Mel. I'm not saying that you're a documentary fiend.
No,
but
it's something that I actively want to do.
Oh, you don't watch documentaries?
I don't watch documentaries. I do not. I don't actively go out of my way not to watch them.
Okay.
It's just that I just don't watch them.
It's not.
Well,
top of
I'll
mind.
say this: when you watch a documentary, you have to watch it with a grain of salt. It doesn't matter what it is.
Correct.
Because whoever is funding it or putting it on is definitely manipulating the
It's biased.
information.
Yeah, and that was kind of the reasons I was like, this is kind of it's like from a perspective that can be painted. It's sort of like getting a new version of a Bible that's like being written to
the Gen Z Bible.
Yeah, to put.
They do have the Gen
That
Z
is a
Bible.
thing.
Really?
Yeah,
it's lit,
I just
too.
recently heard about one.
It's lit.
A Gen Z Bible to have
They basically
rainbow hair or some shit.
No, it's not. It's not a LGBTQI plus Bible. It's just they make it.
They put it in Gen Z terms.
They use slang in there or some shit. They use
yeah.
LOL,
Like,
LMFAO.
is this a real Bible? Because I heard a pastor reading a text from it.
Regardless if it's real or not, it's out. It's out. They really do talk weird, bro.
They do.
Like I was listening to two Gen Zs talk for real, And it's not as extreme as the satire, but it's weird.
I mean, our parents probably thought the same thing.
It's
about
weird.
us.
No, it's different.
I think
It's at a more extreme angle.
Because of the internet.
Possibly their influence. It's a different era.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I try not to listen to a lot of like newer, like these like TikTokers and all that stuff because I feel like their mind is the internet.
Bro, what did Andrew say? TikTok brain.
Yeah.
It's that's literally a thing. TikTok brain. They like, bro. Okay, so you guys know that Chris made me make TikTok, right? He forced my hand.
I followed you.
I did see that. Not your
Well,
personal.
he only
one.
has one follower, so there you
I
go.
think I have 2.
Well, you popped up on my suggestions. Like
I did.
Yeah.
I don't even log in there.
TikTok.
They email me. I'm like, why email me for people? Like, I'm like, I can see why people blow up because they email people. Like, Chris posts something. Oh, Chris James posted. I'm like,
I'd be like, nigga, turn
you
this shit
email me. So anyway, so I opened TikTok. I really don't understand the platform at all. I opened it and I'm thinking Instagram where I can look at my feed. These are my friends, and I immediately can go to messages. TikTok instantly start running things.
Videos.
As soon as you open it, it's running videos.
Yeah.
So it's just like,
It'd be a random slew of videos. They see what you want to look at for a little bit, and then they give you more of that shit. Like, fuck, I just want to look at this one for one moment, but then they keep giving me these shit.
same thing.
The ass.
Bro, it's yeah, that's crazy. I literally don't have. I've only scrolled through like 2 things. It was the whole what's his name, Keith Lee videos and Chris videos.
I don't see any Keith Lee videos.
They email me now. I watched 2 videos about Keith Lee. Now they email me about Keith Lee. Like, bro, that's crazy. Their algorithm is insane.
Yeah, it's insane.
They feed into anything
Oh,
you find
hard.
remotely interesting.
Hard. You like something I never liked. I didn't comment nothing. I just watched. But because I searched it, they say you like Keith Lee.
I wonder if the algorithms are in tune with your response to the video. Not necessarily just watching it, but if they have the ability to access that camera to see your reaction to
Interesting.
it, to see if you laugh or anything like that.
Yeah, they do have access, yes.
I mean, because they do say, hey, do we get permission to do all this stuff when you sign up?
They have access, yeah. They watch you.
So I was like, you can probably, I don't like this.
Well, I mean, how do you know how do you know how long I'm watching something without accessing the camera?
Well, I mean, they can tap haptics. You know, they can feel when you touch the screen.
No, that doesn't guarantee. I'm watching this thing. Oh, hey, baby, da 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 da. No, it's because they're watching me watch.
That front-facing camera is the devil, huh?
You know what? I think that China
Shit.
is already taking over, like America.
I can see it.
Just because the reason why I say that is there's a lot of did you see where China, they own farmland in America, and it's very
A lot.
it's sporadic throughout the country, and it's all by military base.
I didn't know that.
So, and like if you hear about it, you don't think like, oh, they okay, but like it's crazy. Just think about another country owning land where they grow
farmland.
Think about that. Just think about that in a sense of like, another country is coming in. They're already infiltrating the technology. If you look at anything as far as, you know, the things that we get imported, mostly everything says made in China.
Yeah.
It's very rare to see a product that says made in USA.
It's so rare that it's one of the benefits of a product when they advertise it. Right? It's that rare. Like, why are we not getting products from our own country?
Like this shirt that I have here, made in America.
Oh, okay.
And
Now, Mel, when you say made in America, are you talking about the fabrics and everything were manufactured, or are you saying it was stamped with that little thing and housed here in America?
possibly,
See, because that's the trick.
They can say that as long as it was assembled in America or there's a piece from America, it can be made in America.
Right.
Right.
How
So you can
shady is that?
have all the parts that are from China. But if they ship it over and you have to snap something together or screw in a bolt, it could be made in the USA. So, Mel, you saw the Super Bowl, even if you only saw the second.
Started from second.
Right, okay. And I know you don't really watch commercials, but I know you had to see commercials for Temu.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was consistent.
There were more of those commercials than any other company. What do we say? $7 million a commercial, right? For one, you don't just pay $7 million; it runs per commercial. They spent $100 million.
Of course.
And all of their products, 25 cents, $2. I mean, literally, I have a suit upstairs from them. I told you guys about that.
You bought a suit from
the
T-Mobile?
plastic
Yeah, but
suit.
it was like, I mean, like the
plastic
pants. But you start buying stuff and you start adding more, and they give you these bigger and bigger discounts. So I think I ended up paying $25 for the suit, right? But it's something that you could probably wear, like if I wanted to go skating and it was like for an event, like, oh, dress up 90s, party. I wouldn't want to wear a $500 suit. I'd wear a Temu suit, right? But anyway, yes, I did. But I have jackets. I have a couple shirts, and some of them are nice. Like, how are y'all making so much money from these 50 cents? And then you buy a couple things, you get other people to sign up, then they give you $200 in products. Like, this is why you see people saying, use my link, my link.
Because their advertising budget is going to the customer to recruit more people. So instead of using the traditional outlets to advertise, they just give you a little bonus. And people have asked me to sign up so that they can get their little bonus, and I tell them no.
Absolutely, me too.
Why would I give Temu my information?
There was something that came out that somebody found that was proof that the information.
They got class action. I'm almost certain.
There may have been, but there was proof that our information, there was spyware, malware being put on the phones, and they were actively hacking in the phones, getting your data and stuff. And there was a whole big thing on it. I ended up deleting it because I'm like, oh, I never even thought about that, right? But I just like, I'll try it. People keep talking about it.
I already got you.
Yeah.
Oh, I know. But I'm saying, like, but still, maybe
You try to escape the system.
I know.
They get you. They
But-
find something. Oh, I can use that.
Oh, let me get this $25
right?
suit.
They start targeting you, then all of a sudden, now you're getting those posts, those UPS. You have something coming. Like, no, I don't. Right? You got something coming in the mail, then you get something from the post office like, oh, we couldn't find your address. Please text, please.
Yeah.
I'm like, no.
I wonder how many people fall for that stuff, though.
Oh, bro, why would you not? You know you have something coming, and the post office sends you a text from the post office, hey, update your address. We can't find you. Oh, no problem. Looks real. And I'm like, no, this isn't real.
I just happen to know it's not real. Like, it's one of them things. It's like,
But we grew up in the scam era.
right. We grew up in the scam era.
Anytime, I be, even for stuff that be legit, I'd be like, I don't trust it.
Bro, I know I got something coming. It's from UPS. I'm like, bro, is this from UPS? Like, is this really you?
You
Let me
always
just.
gotta look at the links. Mm-hmm. Check them
And
links.
in the emails.
Yeah.
Because a lot of those emails.
The actual email address.
Yeah, where it's coming from, they'll have a lot of letters and numbers.
Yep.
And then be like, yo, this is not even an actual company.
Yeah.
It's just some random shit that's probably just
People just,
generated.
they don't they don't know. But we grew up. That's why millennials are the best. We grew up.
Every generation says that.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know, man. There's no one like us. Period.
We're definitely a dynamic generation, and it's a last of a dying breed because the world has moved forward. It's moved beyond a certain point. So, like, there is no, we still did analog and we did digital.
It's over.
Analog doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah.
Shoot, them goggles, bro.
Oh, it's
Those goggles are crazy. Like, not the glasses, but the goggles. I keep seeing more games. There was this dude playing. It was basically Call of Duty Zombie. It was basically Zombie. He was playing on his goggles. But the zombies are breaking through his real door.
Oh,
his real
yeah.
way. I'm like, bro, there was a zombie coming through the wall. He
The
was
augmented reality type
He was
stuff.
walking through the hallway, and he's like, what the F is that? And it's like a worm zombie burrowing through the wall.
He's reloading his pistol. Like, he's shooting with a... Yeah,
I think he threw a knife or a pistol at him. I'm like, bro, this is crazy.
Our algorithms be this. We be seeing the same stuff.
Yo, real talk.
I haven't seen any of this shit.
When we get
I don't know how I'm saying how you don't see...
When we get the new spot, playing that in there would be crazy, bro. You talking...
The whole house is just a setup with zombies. Yeah, you go ahead and pick one up. We'll use yours.
No, Mel will get it.
No.
Actually, Anthony will.
Yeah, Anthony definitely. But I'm not. I mean, nigga. I mean, they're fun. Those games are fun. You know, but the more I see it, I'd be like, man, they're probably just doing something that's gonna take over your mind. It's probably gonna put you. It'll alter your mood. Maybe there'll be a sign or a signal that we're not even aware of.
It is actively attacking your dopamine receptors. I'm that is 100%.
Well, that's 100%.
It is actively attacking them because now real life is going to seem boring.
Yeah.
And if real life is boring, then what do you want to what do you want to teach us, right? Game of opposites. If real life is boring, you want to be stimulated. So then what is stimulating, right, in your hormones? It's dopamine. So then your mind's automatically gonna say, what's the most stimulating thing that I know? The glasses, VR, right? AR, augmented reality.
just think about porn with those VR glasses.
I mean, they're a thing already.
It's bro, like
Why you make that look?
It is like, you talk about stimulation.
I mean,
It's bro. I remember watching.
that'd be nice.
It was either like Judge Dredd or something. One of the movies out.
Judge Dredd, that's old.
That's definitely old.
Yeah.
I remember playing that game on Super Nintendo.
Yeah. It was one of the movies. It might have had Arnold Schwarzenegger in there, or whatever.
Nah, what's his name? The other one, Rocky Balboa.
No. The movie I'm talking about, I can't remember. But anyway,
Sylvester Stallone.
Wait, I was about to say. I was like, wait, that's crazy.
He named
He's
his
tight.
character.
Yeah, he named his character.
It was so real, but basically, you know, they like their reality. They had sex virtually. They didn't even have sex
Okay. Yeah.
because you couldn't get pregnant, you couldn't get an STD, but it was so realistic. So in the movie, it looked like they were having sex.
It'd be like a wet dream,
Yeah.
Much better.
I mean,
but awake.
Listen, that wouldn't be bad. I mean, could you imagine?
Having a long distance relationship.
You're saying
That'd
it's
be
not
great
bad,
for
right?
long. No, I'm not. I'm saying, well, because I think in that movie, her issue
Steven,
was they were like, oh, bacteria, or oh, this is dirty. Like, you want real sex, and if in a situation where closeness was not an option, that would be great. Right. But honestly, what I need them to do, they just need to do the one thing that we all want them to do. We need teleportation. Okay. That's what they need. That's what they need to do. They need to be able to move us. Right. Instead of me getting on a plane, they just teleport me. Right. And obviously in the beginning, I mean, no time soon.
I mean, clearly, Steven, like, no one's going to be comfortable with that.
I know.
I
mean,
Not our generation.
We'll never. We're never going to see
never
it.
getting
yeah,
on
we
the path.
better go through this gate real quick.
Bro, I mean, because you
Well-
have to break your cells down and rebuild them.
See, teleportation is different from a portal. I'd be open to a portal.
We just walk through it.
I'd be
A
open,
teleporter is when they have to actually break down
de-atomize you,
Break
and
you down.
and then
send
rebuild
through the
you.
internet.
A portal is just a gateway they open in space and time.
Right.
I mean, listen, you do it the same way as you do an airplane. You got to go through security check, right? All this stuff. And then, all right, it's 7:00. It's time. Line up at your gate. And you
just go through a door. You
And
just
now
go
you're
through a
walking
door.
out and you're in a whole other
And
city.
you're in a whole different airport.
I mean, that'd be cool.
That would be dope.
That-
They can utilize the structures we already have.
They could do it. Now, I just saw something recently.
I'm gonna pay out that for that though.
I just saw. No, it'll be cheap.
Be for higher society.
Bro, it'll be so inexpensive.
Not to start.
At mass use? No, I'm just saying.
Oh.
Well, it's not expensive to do, like the technology. So, like,
I think they already have it.
They
I think
already
they
have
do, too.
portals, yes. There was this dude that was showing a portal. He opened up a portal from his room to somewhere in, like, maybe Mexico or South America or something. And he used sound frequency or whatever. And I always thought it was fake. And then I saw something on, might have been Instagram. It was like a newsreel about that guy going missing after he showed this thing.
Wow.
So then I was like, wait, is that real? I just assumed it was CGI because it looked real good. Mm-hmm. It looked real. Like, it looked like how we would imagine it would look. It was like imagine like a small straight line in the middle of the room floating. And then it starts to expand. And the outside of it is not solid, it's wavy. You know what I'm saying? it literally looks as like the video game. So I'm like, this is fake, obviously. But then I saw that and I was like, wait, was it real? So now I'm interested to research whether this dude actually did go missing.
Man, they need to do that.
It would make sense though, because a lot of things that we see in movies or like cartoons or anime,
True.
it kind of replicates something that's probably actually already happened. Because if you think about Dragon Ball Z, and Super Buu and Gotenks, they were trapped in the hyperbolic time chamber up on Mr. Popo's lookout, whatever, or Kami's lookout, and they were trapped in there because they were trying to keep Buu in there. And the motherfucker screamed or created an opening and ripple in order to get out of that particular space and time.
Yeah.
That's literally what he was talking about.
That's exactly what it is.
As far as, creating that sound to open up a particular portal.
You just need the right frequency, the right amount of energy, all those things. I could definitely see it, man.
Like, we should, you know what I mean? We got to invest.
Hey, man, listen, they got them, y'all played that game Portals? The guns?
I love
the
Portals.
purple. It's like red and blue. You never played Portals? Was it on Xbox? Yeah, I think it was on Xbox. Yeah.
No, it's probably on a lot of different systems, actually.
If
That's
not-
not a game Mel would play.
Okay, all right. But Portals is fun. You have this gun and you have boop, boop, boop.
Bro, it
you
was
shoot
lit.
these portals and you jump through one,
It
and
was
then
lit.
it was a puzzle game.
puzzle.
It was fun. But something
Did
that's
you beat
old
it?
too. I don't.
Oh, yeah, I beat it. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Stuff like that, it's just real, and people think like, oh, that's just science fiction. Are y'all? Are you? There's nothing new under the sun, right? I saw some. It was a pastor who was talking about this, but it was a good process, and it was just like it's not that something is new, it's just fresh, right? Like our cell phones, they're not necessarily new. It's a fresh idea or a fresh perspective on old technology, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of, it's just innovation.
Yeah,
Because a lot of things that we have, that we're new to, that we've seen that has been created, it's already been here.
It's been around for a long time.
It's been here since we've been born. We just use the things that we currently have to innovate to make it better.
Yeah.
Like the technology's already here.
You look at some of these cars, and there was some video I saw, and it was like this old something car, and it had a touchscreen in it. Super basic, but it was just like, bro, this car is from like the 90s, the early 90s or something. How does this have touchscreen in it? But it wasn't like a nice touchscreen. It was like green, like the old computers.
Yeah.
But it was touchscreen. They had very basic options. So it's just like people.
That technology is older than that.
I understand
Even
that,
in
but
the
what
1900s,
but
the
I'm-
early 1900s.
I'm just saying, like, people would think like, oh, but phones. We've never had anything like this before. No, we have.
Yeah, we definitely have.
It's just
Our
it's just
history's
been
been erased.
It's just been updated, or it's a fresh perspective or innovation.
What
on
they
it.
actually had in the past was better than what we have now.
Yeah.
Like,
They would have, like, instead of having a phone, you could just project it,
you can
or
either
whatever.
project it, or it could be a device that gives you telepathy. I mean, that would be way better.
Yeah.
It's like the Great Reset?
Yeah, we've lost so much technology. Because you got to think, when you look at ancient history and you look at the structures, every structure was able to send and receive energy. It was able to generate its own energy. What were they doing with all that power?
And power something.
Like, what were they doing with it?
Whole cities were.
Because it's not just for lights. So, everybody talks about the Great Pyramids and everything, and it's pretty much believed at this point that they were a power plant. Most people don't believe the original narrative. Okay, so we agree it's a power plant. What was it powering? What type of energy was that thing generating, and what were they doing with it? You think they were just lighting up the city?
Some people were saying they were collecting the energy to send off world.
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Send off world like a spirit bomb?
Oh my God! Only you would take that
You
that
said
way.
collecting energy.
I mean, yeah,
that's where my mind goes.
I mean, okay. Well, think of Transformers where they were mining. What were them purple cubes, Chris?
Energon.
Energon. They were literally collecting energy from the world for themselves, which would run Cybertron.
Yeah, I've never seen the.
I knew something told me that you are not Transformers.
Yeah, I'm not a Transformer.
Wow.
I'm not a Transformer. Power Rangers is my thing, man.
Okay, dang, Mel.
As if you had to choose one.
Right.
I just,
I'm not even talking about new Transformers because how they do them
No,
now
you're
is
not
trash.
talking about new Transformers.
Old
You're talking about
Transformers.
Yeah.
Wow,
That's crazy.
Yeah, the old cartoons, man, they literally had these square purple cubes. That was their energy, but they were collecting energy to send back to Cybertron. So there's nothing new under the sun. Where'd that idea come from? And if you look at the pyramids and all this stuff, that's one of the narratives that even us, we are creating and we're working to help fund and build and collect energy that gets sent off world. Which, once again, a little out there theory, but
It's not that out there because if you look
for
at
some people.
if you look at the way our cities are set up, if you look at them from a bird's eye view, they look like computer chips.
yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, and that's how the ancient structures looked. It's almost as if they just made them bigger. Actually, there's some pretty big ones in South America. They don't look like computer chips per se, but they look like elements of a computer. You know, I want to say magnetron, but
Megatron.
you got me feeling some kind of way right now. But I think they're called magnetrons. But
The Megatrons.
there is a guy in I don't even want to say where he's from because he just in my head he's an African, but I'm not sure if he is actually. He's just very dark skinned. But there's a guy on Instagram that's basically been promoting his new device, which takes plastic and turns it back into crude oil. Well, gas, fuel.
Wow.
So he could take styrofoam, he could take plastic, he could take rayon or not rayon, but polyester.
So rayon's probably a
No,
plastic.
rayon's a natural material.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
He could take any kind of plastic or product of plastic and turn it back into oil, gas. He could make diesel. He can make airplane fuel, rocket fuel. He can make gasoline.
That'd be great for recyclables.
Don't you learn? You know how to do it yet?
No, but
I mean,
he has a GoFundMe. It's so sad, man, because like his GoFundMe, he wants $1 million, and basically what he's doing. So what he's doing is not unknown. I believe it's called pyrolysis or something like that. So what he's doing is not unknown, but in the traditional methodology, the energy expenditure to break that stuff down it's not efficient enough. So basically, it would take more energy to break the plastic down. Now, in my opinion, from an ignorant standpoint, not understanding everything, that still makes sense because you're not putting all that plastic in the landfills. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Like, we're not going to necessarily be able to use the gas. It's not going to necessarily make sense, but it does from an environmental standpoint, in my opinion. But what he's doing is he's refining the process to where the output does make sense. So now he's getting more out than what he's putting in to create the gas. And then now that's where it becomes profitable. So he's trying to get $1 million put together because he's been building this stuff from scrap pieces.
did you donate?
No, I have not. Because when I looked at his donation, it just was a picture of donate. There was no link. There was no way for me to, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure it's somewhere, but I didn't go that deep. But also, if I donated, number one, me personally, I'm like, I'm just thinking I'm going to get the money he needs and be like, let's partner. Because that's part of the technology that I need, that I want.
Man, Chris about to start opening gates and shit. We're like, about to break that. But that'd be dope though to utilize a lot of those plastics and stuff because we have so much of it here. Mm-hmm. It's absolutely in everything.
Yeah,
absolutely in everything. And if you can utilize that bad boy to, get your own oil.
Yeah. Imagine just having one of these devices it comes with the home like a stove. Mm-hmm. And every time you get a plastic, you get a shoe, you get styrofoam, all that crap that you can't recycle, you just put it in there. And you make your own fuel. That's lit.
And you could probably just create, because cats be happy to recycle. Oh, we're recycling? Yeah, just put all your plastics here. We'll take your plastics. We can take people's plastics. You know what I mean? But yo, we got it.
And sell gas.
Yeah.
I mean, it's phenomenal.
And it could be like a non-profit situation where,
Right. Exactly.
you know, sort of like how the Goodwill and all that stuff, where people go to donate their plastic or get rid of that stuff. That could be set up as like a non-profit organization.
CEO's profit. That dude makes like $10 million a year or something crazy. CEO like Goodwill.
Oh.
He makes millions a year.
Yeah. See, it's not a nonprofit.
I think back in the day it might have been, or it was sold to us.
I don't think non-profits are actually ever non-profit. Like they have to gain something.
They can pay their employees.
They can pay
but
their
the
employees.
company can't make money. You know what I'm saying?
Which the CEO would be.
He's an employee.
He's an employee.
But he's paying himself way too much.
He can't. You know what are you gonna do?
So I don't think they're listed under a nonprofit.
I don't think it's a nonprofit because I actually found out because I thought it was a nonprofit and then I found out it wasn't. So
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate y'all rocking out with us today. Yep, Animated Male.
Somebody left their phone on in the bathroom.
Chris James, Stephen Michael. We will see you beautiful people next week. And make sure you subscribe and like us and all that beautiful stuff. Other than that, later. Peace and love. Holla for $1.